It's Saturday, and that means we're preparing for today's Formula 2 event here in Spa. As the cars are being prepared, let's join them trackside for the start of what promises to be a terrific race. So here we are again, a whopping 4.35 miles of track here at Spa, featuring long straights, some seriously fast corners, and some massive elevation changes. This is a track that routinely delivers high-quality racing, and we'll be hoping to see just that from our young F2 drivers today. Davide Valsecchi joins me today. Davide, Spa is a favourite for fans and drivers alike. What tips would you have for these young drivers today?
Always a pleasure to be here, Alex. Who doesn't love Spa? I wish I was down there racing today. I would say there's a lot of places to overtake on this circuit, so be patient on that first corner. Try and get through it safely, get a good exit, and get in the right position to attack at the end of the main straight.
As we're now moments away from the off, let's take a look at the grid order in which they'll start today's race. A fantastic effort from Guilherme Samaia yesterday puts him on pole position, and it's Daniel Ticktum in P2. Looking down the rest of the grid, we have Deruvala, Matsushita, Robert Schwartzman, Andragovic, Schumacher, Lundgaard, Joe, Nikita Mazepin, Sonoda, Alesi, Callum and Armstrong, Giotta, Piquet, Aitken, and Marino Sato, Nissany, and Artem Markelov. Galeo and Louis Delatraz starts from the back of the grid. And with preparations almost complete, let's head down to the track.
Well, no encouraging words from Jeff once again, even though we're starting P1 on the pole. Welcome, everybody, back to the FIA Formula 2 Championship. I'm Mikey McBlam, driving as Guilherme Samaia, the number 10 for Campos Racing, carrying the team on my back this week, apparently. But this is the road to getting good, and I don't understand this one. I don't understand this one. This is a little bit weird for me because we were running about P11 in practice. We were running about P11 in practice, and I was like, oh, okay, that's fine. And then we had to qualify in the rain, and I'm like, oh, I'm starting last. There's no way I'm starting last. And I guess because like 75 difficulty, which is where we're at, I guess through Erosion Radion, they just lift so much because I lifted, yes, but maybe they hit the brakes. Is maybe that's what's going on here, because like I saw the ghost car behind me, and then all of a sudden he was gone. I was like, what the heck? What happened? And of course, because it was raining, I messed up a couple of corners, but the tires surprisingly gripped up really well here in the rain. I only got like a little squirrely a couple times, but they actually gripped up really well. And I think the other part of it was there's no other cars around, so I wasn't as scared. And I could see it was wet, but it wasn't like heavy rain like it has been at certain other tracks. But I could see, and that was like a big thing. That was, that helped out a whole lot. When you can see it, it just helps out a whole lot. But we're on the inside lane, which is not really where I want to be. I'd rather be on the outside so I can kind of, whoever's coming, I can kind of pinch them off. Like they have to kind of lift to let me go, or not, and spin me out, which, I mean, it's bound to happen at some point. But yeah, Jack Aiken all the way in the back. Jack Aiken was 5th in practice. I don't understand that. Like, I don't know what happened. Maybe this track in the rain, they're just not good. I know I'm not good. I ran like a 216. I'm like, no, no. And I was running like a 206 in practice. So, but yeah, I was running like a 216. I guess, I don't know. I don't know what happened. I'm not going to tell you what. I'm not going to complain. I'm just going to try to run this race as best as I can. Get the best possible finish. More so concerned about the team standings now than I am my own position in the point standings. More concerned about that now, so hopefully I can bring home some good points for the team, and hopefully Jack Aiken can get up there and compete. He was, like I said, he was running 5th. He was running really well here, so I I don't know what happened during qualifying that might have messed. Maybe we had some people have some real trouble. I don't know. But anyway, we're going to turn it over to post-commentary Mikey. Let him deal with this nonsense. We'll see you in the race. Alright, ladies and gentlemen, it is now the Remain in Points Challenge and Don't Choke Away the lead as it's lights out here at Spa, and the Belgium Grand Prix is underway. Dan Ticktum with a blistering start, jumps down into turn 1. He takes the lead as we go to the inside, trying to defend off Jahan Deruvala. And we're going to be side by side coming off of turn 1. Slight contact, a little bit of wheel to wheel, but just hard racing as we're about to come up into Rouge. It's gonna burp the throttle just a little bit, but not a whole lot. But look at the run we get on Dan Ticktum. He doesn't even bother to try to go offensive or put a squeeze on us at all. He really just gives the spot away as we come up through this particular chicane here and inherit the lead right on back as we lost it through turn 1. The starts have not been kind to us in the past couple of races, especially in the rain. But I haven't been as confident in terms of getting the power down on the starts of the race, and that's allowed a couple of people who got on the curb a little bit there. Don't want a repeat of the last race where we get on the curb and just spin out and take out, you know, pretty much half the field. But even though it was only Mazepin, and I know the Mazepin's the meme. but yeah, like I said, like I haven't been as confident on the starts. That's allowed these guys to kind of get a jump on me on the very start of the race, but we have just pulled out to an absolutely commanding lead. I'm not sure if there was there a got in the grass a little bit. Got to be careful about running wide through that particular set of corners there as we come down into the final chicane, which has been a thorn in the side just a little bit here. We've actually looped it around quite a few times coming off of that final, just because, you know, you're coming up to, you got to get up to speed really quick, and you get on the power a little bit too much, you just kind of spin it out. But yeah, we're just at 2.4 sec. Was there wasn't a yellow flag. I definitely know there was not a yellow flag, but we have just pulled out to an absolute dominating lead. So I'm wondering if was there a stack up or something. I'm not entirely sure. But again, running about mid-pack in practice and then suddenly getting the pole in the wet in qualifying, it just I am not sure what is, I'm not sure what's going on. I'm not entirely sure as to what is going on. I am running a custom setup in here, not as I guess to say extravagant as everyone. Oh, easy, got on the curb there. That got us sideways, shot us out to the top of the racetrack there. We managed to keep the car pointed in the right direction, but this is slowly but surely becoming the can we not choke away the lead here at Spa. But as I said, it's not an extravagant setup, it's just a modified preset. Oh, we got a little bit wide. Get into the gravel, get into the retainer wall with the back tire.
Alright.
Oh, that could have easily ended our race there. But everything's fine, and somehow once again we keep the car pointed straight and continue on with the lead. Now we did lose quite a bit of time to Dan Ticktum because of that error. Makes me wonder how far we actually would have been if I didn't make that mistake. DRS is now enabled. Dan Ticktum now has the fastest lap of the race. And it's okay. I think we can possibly get that back. But as I was saying, I'm running a custom setup, just a modified low downforce setup here as we try to. I figured this was a fast track. I get the wings in the right position so that I'm faster. Not necessarily cornering as well, but definitely can run faster down the straights because I figured I would need that. And like I said, running about mid-pack, but I guess maybe this is just too easy of a difficulty to run this on in the race because, like I said, practice they were pretty quick. But race trim, they just don't seem to be on it, so I'm thinking more along the lines it's just going to be a difficulty thing and we need to run this particular track at a higher difficulty. And I understand, like, my skills have improved a bit, marginally. It's marginal improvement, but maybe it is improvement enough to where we're actually starting to understand these tracks a little bit more. And Spa is not necessarily... Ooh, we're going wide once again. Ooh, that really allowed Tictum to catch up to us. Now he's within half a second. He's dropped off just another 10th there. But yeah, he's here and he's aiming to pounce. He burped the throttle just a bit through there. He's right there. He hasn't really let up at all. So, I say all this to say, like, I'm not sure if Dan Tictum, once again with the fastest lap of the race, immediately taken by Robert Schwartzman, running a 2:07. Interesting enough, these guys were running 2:06s in practice. I feel like they were running like 2:06s in practice, so that's interesting that they're not running that here in the race. But, I mean, like, it's race trim. I would at least expect Tictum to be running that. But we gain so much time on them through Radion and Arouge there, and going into the chicane, we gain so much time on them right there, which makes me believe that they might just be lifting a bit too much through that particular set of high-speed corners. Because all I'm doing, I'm just burping it. I'm just barely lifting a little bit. If I feel like I didn't take it correctly, oh man. There's the curb once again, sideways, kept the car pointed in the right direction once again. Oh boy. Again, this is just, again, becoming the don't choke this away challenge now. As opposed to the last to first. Or last to points, I should say. We're in maximum points right now. Well, not maximum because we don't have the fastest lap. That's still being held by Robert Schwartzman. But yeah, that curb was almost disastrous. Okay, easy. Oh, through the gravel again. That was really close. That was really close. We almost caught that outside retainer once again. I'm gonna try to keep it as pinned as possible through here. Ooh. So does Dan Tictum. As we come through the final chicane. Just be a little bit easy here. I'm just gonna back him right on up. Back him right on up. Try to get a big run off of turn number, the final turn, I should say. Going into turn number 1. Thankful that that curb doesn't kill you. But there's 2 laps to go here. I don't think these guys have anything for us. I don't think these guys have anything for us, and I'm not sure why they don't. I'm honestly not sure why they don't. So this is definitely going to be one of those races where I feel like we're going to be upping this difficulty to quite a bit here versus other tracks where, you know, it's hard, man. It's really hard. But I think a track like this where there's a lot of straightaways, the corners are pretty forgiving. against the, I feel like, yeah, this is probably one of those tracks, even though I don't know it as well. Again, I've watched Spa a lot. I have watched Spa a lot, like just almost every year. I'd watch at least, you know, 20 to 30 videos and they're racing at Spa, you know, like there's racing leagues where they race at Spa, and you know, like any type of like tutorial video or something, or whenever they're trying to like do a comparisons, usually here at Spa. So okay, don't go wide, we're fine. But yeah, it's usually here at Spa, so it's like I know the racetrack, but I've never driven on it. Like, this is legitimately my first time. Now, I did spend a lot of time through practice and a lot of time trying to understand where I need to brake, how much I need to brake, etc., etc. But this has just been, I didn't expect me to run this well. So yeah, 75 is definitely way too low. As we got the fastest lap of the race with a 2:05. My gosh, must have been seriously hitting our marks there for a good bit. I know we ran wide a couple times, so we must. I wonder how it would be if we like hit every single mark just perfectly, as we just about kept it pinned through Rouge that time. Just about kept it pinned, but not I don't think I can do that on these tires, to say the least. Maybe on the softs, which I believe that we're going to be running that in the sprint race. I believe we'll be on the softs. See if I can run an even faster lap here. Yeah, this track is very, very forgiving. Much like Austria. Austria's real forgiving. But even then, I don't think the... even then, I think like the air were a little bit more challenging at Austria. This just seems a little bit too easy. So yeah, I probably would say... I mean, we'll definitely find out in the sprint race where we got to do when we have to race in traffic. But I'm really leaning towards 75 is a bit too easy for this particular racetrack. So we'll probably bump it up to 85, 90s, most likely in the 90s next time. Similar to Austria. Similar to Austria, we probably need to go ahead and run it at about a 95, 97. Whereas the other tracks, oh, we ran a little bit too wide, trying to keep it pinned. We're sideways up into the retainer. Can we hang on to the lead? Dan Ticktum is closing in through the final chicane. We almost choked that away, but somehow kept it pointed in the right direction enough to get the win. That was terrifying. Roy Desani has the driver of the day, so GG Roy Desani.
Brilliant stuff from Campos today. What a superb victory. So, Davide, how exactly did they set themselves apart from the pack today?
This race, this win, was about one thing and one thing only: consistency. Anyone can be quick for just one lap, but there's a difference between that and being quick every lap, over and over and over. If you can do that, if you can gain ground when your opponents make mistakes, but then not make mistakes on your own, you can just push and push.
It's time to present the top drivers with their trophies for today's race, and there are a lot of people in the paddock very happy with this result. It's Campos on the top step. After this round of the World Championship, here's how things look in the drivers' table. The gap at the top of the championship has been cut down after a difficult race for our championship leader. And now, Davide Valsecchi, let me ask you, who is your driver of the day?
Difficult call, but I say Guilherme Samaia. He was committed the entire race, and it's paid off with the result.
And now a look at the team standings. MP Motorsport moved further clear at the top. Meanwhile, good work from Campos this weekend, who pushed themselves further up the order. Goodbye for now then, but we really are just getting started. Make sure you join us again for Lights Out tomorrow.
Wow. So yeah, 75 is not high enough for this track. Where was everybody? Where was everybody? Okay. Anyway, we win. Our first feature win. My gosh, our first feature win. But it doesn't feel right. You know what I'm saying? It doesn't feel right. I don't know. Dan Ticktum comes in second. Jahan Daruvula rounds out the podium finishers. Then we have Nobuharu Matsushita, Robert Schwartzman, Felipe Drugovich, Guan Yu Zhou, Mick Schumacher, Christian Lundgaard, and Nikita Mazepin will round out the points finishers for today's feature race at Spa Francorchamps. I'm getting some Franks, get some hot dogs at the end of the race. Some veggie dogs because it's me. But anyway, let's see the rest of the field. Where did Jack Aiken finish 21st? What happened? What happened? What is going on right now? I have no idea what is happening right now. I am so confused. Why did Jack Aiken fall all the way back to sit to 21st? What? There must have been a crash or something. I didn't notice any yellow flags. Maybe post-commentary Mikey did, but I didn't notice any yellow flags. I was just going. I mean, I was just in a zone, and, you know, just all on my own. And what in the blue blazes is going on? I don't know. Let's check out the standings. Oh my gosh, we moved up into 11th, leapfrogged a whole bunch of people. Leapfrogged Mick Schumacher, I don't care. But Jack Aiken maintains the top 5. That's important. Jack Aiken is maintaining the top 5. Nobuharu Matsushita still maintains the points lead over Dan Ticktum. Jahan Daruvula is rounding out the podium point standings anyway. But yeah, we've leapfrogged quite a few people to get into P11 in the points. And let's check out the team standings. Back up into P3. Let's go. Back up into P3. Might be a tall order to try to get past Carlin. MP Motorsports is pretty much might have this wrapped up. It just depends on what myself and Jack can do. But I don't know what happened. I honestly don't know what happened. Like I said, 11th in practice. I was like, okay, midfield sounds about good. Jack was 5th. He was 5th. The rain happened in qualifying, and I was expecting to be last, and I was 1st, and I just left everybody. I just left there. I was the lap 1. I'm like, okay, bye. I guess you're not want to race me for some reason. Is everyone scared? Is it because I took out Nikita Mazepin? I think that's why. Anyway, let's move on to the feature race. We already finished the feature race. I won the feature race. Pay attention. Let's move on to the sprint race.
We're returning after yesterday's feature race for the final event of the weekend, the sprint. Down on the grid below us, the drivers are spending their last few minutes getting ready. Very soon, they're going to kick this race off in dramatic fashion. As we await the start of another hugely anticipated Formula 2 race, I'm joined again by Davide Valsecchi. Davide, as a former GP2 champion, can we get some insight to what is running through these young drivers' heads as they sit out on the grid?
Ciao Alex, it's a pleasure to be here. There are nervy moments, there is no doubts about that. Mental strength is the key to remaining calm and focusing on the upcoming race. Formula 2 is so competitive, and all of these drivers knows that they are going to be pushing each other all of the way. In this sport, you have to be able to control your nerves.
Once again, no encouraging words from Jeff, but I noticed Davide Valsec is a little bit calmer this time around. He wasn't as excited as he was in the at the feature race. He was all up in it, man. I was just like, all right. He was excited for that feature race. I guess he knew what was going to happen. But we're starting P8 because, you know, top 8 get reversed. And starting on the softs, so I'm wondering if we could take that whole section, Radion and leading into Rouge leading into Radion. I wonder if we could take that whole section flat out this time. I don't know if I want to try that around the AI, just because in case I swing wide, I don't want to take anybody out with me. Yeah, I was trying to do that in practice. And of course we were on the mediums. I was trying to do that in practice. I was just swinging so wide, and like it's, you know, invalidating the lap because you leave the track surface and stuff like that. So, which, I mean, maybe that was part of why I started finishing 11th, but or, you know, was practicing in P11. Maybe that was why. I don't know. But now we're starting in traffic. We're gonna have to see what this car can do in traffic. So now we've got a little bit more of a challenge ahead of us, and maybe things will level back out. I thought about raising the difficulty, putting it up to 80 like I did with but between these two races, but I'm like, no, let me see what happens. If we tell you what, if we start leapfrogging people like crazy, the next time we come here, which will be in F1 2021, we'll bump it up to like 90, and then we'll, you know, just like we said we were gonna do with Austria. Yeah, we'll see what we can do with those two tracks. Are probably going to be on 90. Everyone else is kind of like 75 seems to be the way to go. But anyway, that's enough rambling. Let's go ahead and get what could be a very dangerous sprint race underway. Post commentary, Mikey. Lead them to the lights out, because I'm terrified. I'm scared, man. I'm scared. Here we go. All right, race fans, the real challenge is about to begin as the front 8 have been inverted. Can we make our way to the front by the end of the race? We'll have to see. It's lights out here at Spa. The sprint race is underway. Much better start. Everyone fanning out, trying to get into position as we get into Robert Schwartzman. Into turn number 1, a little bit of a warning. Knew that was going to happen. I was trying to stay off of him, as if we have cleared ourselves into, oh my gosh, did we catch up to them so quickly. They are definitely lifting a whole lot more than I expect. Oh, Schwartzman giving us a big old squeeze to the outside. We're side by side, about to go into the chicane. Oh, don't run into Drugovich. Schwartzman relinquishes the spot, but now he's under attack by Dan Tickner. Remember, Dan Tickner was pretty fast in the feature race. Now he's putting the pressure back on us as we're up into P5 in just the first few sets of quarters here at Spa. So we've gone from 8th to 5th, which is it. I'm not counting my ducks before they hatch. That's not that hard to do on the start of a race. The real challenge is going to be, can we get to these guys? We make a big move to the inside of Drugovich. He fights back on the inside. We're still side by side, battling for the position, and we finally overtake him. Nice, clean, hard racing there. Didn't get into him. Little bit of oversteer. But we definitely, I think I have my answer now. We definitely need to bump this up quite a bit. And oh yeah, we remain pinned 100% through there as we've caught up to Nobuharu Matsushita in a hurry as we go through the final chicane to complete lap number 1. Real wide off of the final turn there. Mick Schumacher with the fastest lap of the race currently. Okay. Slow it down. My gosh, Matsushita. Yeah, that would have been an absolutely busted front wing there. because it felt like he was making the turn and then just checked up. And I'm trying to be a little bit easier here. Matsushita tries to squeeze us, and I'm not having anything of it. Not having any of it as we go into the chicane, about to try to set our eyes on Guan Yu Zhou. We went really wide. Here comes Matsushita taking a peek. Tried to put the nose in there. Couldn't quite get there, though. Yeah, we've got these guys on speed. It's just a matter of, can we not screw up and hit our marks here. And Schumacher and Guan Yu Zhou start to pull away just a little bit. But we should be able to get a good run on Guan Yu here into the next few turns. Trying to pick my spot here as to when I'm going to make this move. Field is fairly bunched up, but you know, everyone's got quite a bit of space between them, except me and myself and Guan Yu. I'm going to try to make the move here. Guan Yu goes defensive. Oh boy, might not be a good idea. This might not be a good idea. Guan Yu is blocking. We're going to go side by side into the final chicane. Who's going to get there first? We do. And we have moved ourselves into the second spot. Round the outside, and here we go. Trying to make the move on Mick Schumacher. 204. Oh, banging tires as we go into turn one. Mick Schumacher is going to have the advantage. Guan Yu Zhou thought about taking a look to the inside there. Couldn't quite get his nose in there to make a move. But we've got Mick Schumacher dead to rights here as we just go flat out through that particular turn and the DRS. See you later. We are in the lead here at Spa once again.
Excuse me. I want to get here now.
And it's looking like another maximum points day as the tires are just gripping like you would not believe. Schumacher not letting us get too far, though. But if these tires continue to grip the way that they're gripping, it's pretty much a done deal. Now that we're out front, we're going to just go ahead and pull the Lewis Hamilton and just, we'll say we'll be seeing you field. But yeah, we definitely need to up this difficulty here. That was fun. I'm not gonna lie to you, that was fun and probably pretty entertaining to watch, but I'm not gonna lie, that was a lot of fun. As it was cool coming up through the field there, racing hard. Guan Yu Zhou, Schwartzman, Tictum, Drugovich, you know, that was cool. But yeah, we need to up this. We need to up this. We got through the field just a little bit too quick there. A lot of bit too quick. Yeah, can't quite keep it pinned through there now. It's a little bit, tire grip is starting to go away just a little bit now. But yeah, we kept it pinned up there through a Rouge and just absolutely, like I said, Schumacher was dead to rights. He was dead to rights. There was absolutely no way he was going to be able to defend against that move. Guan Yu Zhou put up one heck of a fight. He put up one heck of a fight and just tried to keep us squeezed to the outside there as much as he possibly could. Ooh boy. Yeah, you can keep it pinned through there. It's just a little, it's a little scary. It's a little scary. I don't quite have the downforce to be able to make the turns. That turn is as fast. Anyway, I know you can set the car up. I know you can set the car up to where you can do that. But yeah, my lack of understanding of these cars, don't allow me to do that. I mean, I'm pretty sure someone could give me a setup. Like I say, it's a custom setup, but it's just like a little. It's the preset tweaked, basically. But my lack of understanding of these race cars, you know, like I couldn't tell you how I could do that or or anything of that nature. We pulled away to almost a 3-second lead. Yeah. Yeah. Yeah, we're gonna run it. We need to run it about like 95, maybe even. Yeah, I would say 95. 95 is probably a good one. A good 20 points for as much as we're lapping these guys. As much as we're distancing ourselves, not lapping these guys. I'm getting a little bit too cocky and ahead of myself here. Okay, went a little bit wide there, but I did get into the gravel this time. Purple second sector. Oh, we're looking for another best lap. We might be looking for another best lap. We'll have to see what happens when we hit this final chicane. Yeah, I need to adjust the brake bias just a little bit. I am having a little bit of trouble with oversteer as we start when I get on the brakes. All right, so I did not hit another best lap of the race, unfortunately. But I was on track to. I just that third sector was not as kind to me. Yeah. Kind of burping the throttle just a little bit. Just a little burp of the throttle through Rouge, and it looks like Schumacher started to pull away from Guan Yu Zhou. So if this were a higher difficulty, then Schumacher would definitely be the car to beat. It would not be me up here. But this is one of those, you learn as you go. There are certain tracks where the AI where I'm just terrible. I'm just being honest here. Just terrible. I mean, I'm bad at all the tracks, but there are certain tracks where the AI are much better. And there are certain tracks where the AI are not. You know, like it's like here in Austria, where you can just really put a whooping on them on lower difficulties. So something to keep in mind when I migrate into Formula 1 2021. Of course, the driving is going to be a whole lot harder when I jump into that game, so I got to keep that in mind. And wrecks are probably going to be a lot more frequent, both from the AI and myself. Another purple second sector, but unfortunately a red first sector. So we're not going to get another fast lap here. I want to say we're about 6 seconds too slow for, like, you know, maximum fast lap. Anyway, through the final chicane for the final time, running wide once again. And we win the sprint race here at Spa.
Fantastic. You've won the Grand Prix.
The weekend sweep has occurred and also got driver of the day. I don't think that's right, but we might have moved up to both spots. So let's see.
So another fantastic victory for Campos today. And Davide Valsecchi, give me your thoughts. How did they accomplish this result?
What a race, Alex. Every so often we get a spectacle like we did today. Less focus on strategy and time management and more on just pushing it to the limits and battling it out for those top positions. I think what we experienced today is evidence of why Formula 2 is continuing to draw into crowds. And expect today's race will definitely be turning a few more heads to the series.
I can see them on their way out to the podium now. Campos have come a really long way in this sport, and what a special race this was to see them earn the top spot. So then, it's time to see how this result affects the Drivers' Challenge. It's a good result for Nobuharu Matsushita, who moves further ahead at the top of the table. And so, driver of the day then, Davide Valsecchi, who do you think you'd go for?
Let's give it to Guilherme Samaya. That was a quality drive from start to finish. He can be proud of that one.
On to the teams then. MP Motorsport move further clear of the top. That's it for today's race. From Davide and I, it's goodbye, and we'll see you when Formula 2 returns.
Okay, so yeah, we're gonna run this one at like 95 or something, maybe even 100 next time, because we dusted them. We absolutely dusted them. It was good racing. It was good racing for a little while. But yeah, we were just way too fast. We were way too fast. Through the corners mainly. So like these corners you don't have to take these corners as slow as I would normally take them, I guess. But you don't have to take these corners as slow. And as the race went on, I started to realize that. But anyway, let's talk about that a little bit later. We win the sprint race again. I should have known, but I wasn't sure. Maybe something's, I don't know. But anyway, yeah, we win the sprint race, followed by Mick Schumacher. Guan Yu Zhou is in 30 rounds out the podium finishers. And we have Nobuharu Matsushita, Felipe Drogovic, Dan Ticktum, Robert Schwartzman, and Jahan Daruvala will round out the points finishers for the sprint race here at Spa. More Franks for champs right here. Okay. Anyway, where are Jack Aiken? Did manage to get back up to 17th, which is pretty much where he started in the feature race. He managed to get back up there, but I don't know what happened. I don't know what the deal is with Jack at this particular track. I don't know what happened. Like I said, post commentary might have something to say about that, but I don't know. I personally don't know. I honestly wasn't even paying attention to the track map. I was like legitimately focused on where I was going. Wasn't even paying attention to what was, I was focused on the race. But anyway, let's check out the standings after the sprint race here. Nobuharu Matsushita is now 4 points ahead of Dan Ticktum. It was 5, but now it's only 4. Jahan Daruvala 12 points back. We've moved into 9th. All right. That's not gonna last, because we got the other track that's coming up after this. I don't remember what it is, but I'll figure it out at the once I get out of this screen. Jack Aiken drops down to 6. Come on, Jack. I carried the team this week, though. And because of that, we're still in third. But not even really like all that solidly in third. Prima Racing is still like, within 5 points of us or whatever. But MP Motorsports still, I think they've got it. I think they've got it at this point. Carlin, I thought we would gain some more on Carlin, but we didn't really. And I was really just kind of hoping Jack would get up there into the top 10. But, it's one of those things like the feature race gives you more of an opportunity to do that than the sprint race does. Sprint race is a little bit more crazy. But yeah, that's unfortunate. Anyway, we'll talk about the race here in a little bit. Let me get my all-important thumbnail from the replay and see you in just a minute. Okay, guys, so that was round 9 at Spa. Franks or champs? I need some Franks and beans later. Veggie Franks, obviously, but still. Jack, I was the champ there, but I don't know. It just doesn't. It doesn't feel as good. It doesn't feel as good as Austria. It's one of those like I wasn't sure. I just wasn't sure, and like the pace we had was just obviously blistering on a 75 difficulty. It's just not. It's not the same. Because I upped the difficulty for Austria, and the reason I did that is because I was fastest in practice by quite a bit. So I was like, oh, well, let me up this, and then qualified last. So I'm like, okay, it was what I expect. Well, not last, but 17th or whatever. But it was what I expected. I expected that. But this one was like, hey, you're running 11th. You're practicing 11th. I'm like, all right, I'm about mid pack, and then the rain hit, and in qualifying, and I was 100% sure. I was like, oh, I'm gonna qualify last, and they just don't go. Rouge and Rot, they don't go. Not at this difficulty. They do not go. I ran up on them so quick. So many of these high speed corners, like where you just even if you do lift, it's it's a little bit. They don't go, you know, they just don't, they're very overly cautious through those turns. And this is coming from somebody who is extremely cautious, who's extremely cautious through around certain turns. And, you know, because I'm scared I'm going to either spin out or drive it in too hard or something like that, which, I mean, I wind up doing anyway, you know, like, I mean, but I just, this difficulty is not meant for a track like Spa. You know, like I could probably, you know, you could make the arguments for Spain. You can make the arguments for maybe Bahrain. I'm not so sure. I think Bahrain could be, you know, like that. I think this is too low for Bahrain, but yeah, like Spa, I did not expect this. I did not expect it. Like I said, running mid pack around 206. You had some people running 205s, so I was like, okay, this makes sense. Jack was faster than me, and I don't know, everything got flipped on his head in quali and race, and I don't know what happened. I mean, I'll take the victories, and I like the track. It's not hard at all to really kind of get around there. If you hit your marks, you can be blisteringly fast. And I don't even think I got everything out of the car that I could get out of the car. Like, you know, I was hitting purple second sectors quite a bit, but, you know, I don't think I got everything out of the car that I could get out of the car. Like, I feel like I really could have pushed a whole lot more, especially through the first sector and the third sector. I feel like I could have pushed, well, maybe not the third sector. I think I was struggling a little bit there. But the first and the first sector, yeah, I can definitely get a lot more. I can get a whole lot more out of it. The third one, like I said, I'm not so sure about. But yeah, because I kind of struggle a little bit through there. But yeah, it doesn't feel the same. That's what I'll say. It just doesn't feel the same. But I am gonna have some franks and beans because it's because we won. We won. That's the meal of the Spa champions right there. So anyway, we're moving on to Italy, which and I will say, like, I think a lot of it has to do also with what I said in the previous episode when I was talking about like how I've seen Spa so many times. Like, I've legitimately watched it so many times that like I said, I wasn't looking at the track map because I felt like I kind of knew what was coming. And in certain cases, I kind of forgot, you know, overdroving some of those deceptively sharper, you know, slower turns. And actually, you know what? Jeff was giving me some apt advice. There's, I think it was turn 10 and 11. There's like a double left-hander, or I think. And he said if you do it right, you kind of clip the outside, and then you kind of like nose it right back down in. And he was right. He was right. I was like, oh, apt advice from Jeff here. But that was during practice. But yeah, just like I know, like, I don't want to say I know Spa, but I feel like I kind of know it. Like I said, I wasn't even looking at the track map. I wasn't worried about where I was going because I felt like I kind of knew. Italy, I have no idea. I'm gonna have to like sit here and watch some videos on Italy and watch the AI kind of get around here. But Spa, I just kind of went out there and like I didn't even like, because usually I will sit and watch the AI and see what their lines are. I didn't watch them for Spa. I didn't watch them for this particular round. So because I was like, okay, I think I got a good handle on where I need to go here. Running about mid pack, which is where I expected to run. You know, like I'm usually like, you know, I would say my talent level, if I don't frick up, is like, you know, anywhere from like 13th to like, you know, 16th, maybe 17th, 18th. You know, like I can that's usually where my talent level is right now on this particular difficulty. With certain tracks that are just a little bit easier, you know, your Bahrain, your Spa, for instance, you know, Spa was just really easy. That was just too easy. Like I blistered these guys. So yeah, I think I need to run this almost at a much higher, well, not much higher, but I need to run this like, if I'm gonna run, say, let's see, if I'm gonna run Austria, at a at like a 97, then I think Spa needs to be up there. Well, realistically, we need to see, because I feel like Austria needs to be up in the 90s, but this one just felt like it needed to. This one almost felt like it needed to be max. Like being honest, this one almost felt like it needed to just be max. Because I don't know if it's like an AI thing, but they just, like I said, they don't go through those high speed corners when they should just be flat out. You know, I would expect them to be flat out, because I'm a little wuss, so I'm not gonna go 100%. I tried a couple times where I was just like, oh, I could pin it. I could pin it. Certain cases I could, but when the tires start to wear, yeah, you're not really gonna pin it all that much. So, but it is what it is. I will take the victory. I will take going into 9th place in the points. That's not going to last. Like I said, I have no idea what's going to happen here in Italy. I have no idea what the track looks like. I don't even know what the track looks like. But yeah, I'm going to probably sit here, watch some videos on it, and sit back and watch the AI for a little bit. Turn a couple laps here and see what happens. But anyway, guys, thank you so much for tuning into the FIA Formula 2 Championship here on McBlam Racing. If you enjoy these races, I do them every weekend following the F2 Championship IRL. So, a couple of months. As it stands right now. A couple of months. But this is the road to getting good. So be sure you subscribe. Click the notification bell so you don't miss an upload. Leave a like on the video. Comment down below any type of feedback. I know this one definitely did. Like I said, I almost feel like it needs to be max with how much of a beatdown we put on everybody. But we'll cross that road when we get to it, which will eventually be F1 2021. So anyway, guys, thank you so much for watching. Thank you being on the road to getting good. We're apparently pretty good at this track. So the road wasn't very long on this one, but Italy, it's gonna be back to business as usual. Like I always say, don't get it twisted. Don't get it twisted. Don't see me do well at Spa, Austria, Bahrain. Don't see me do well there and expect that to be the norm. No. Don't expect that to be the norm. Expect what you see at tracks like Spain. Expect what you see at what's the name? Baku. Probably Italy. It's probably going to be like anywhere. It's going to be outside of the points. If I can get in there, it's great. But if I can't, it is what it is. So I'm going to try to carry the momentum, see what I can do. But no promises. But that's the whole purpose of this journey. I always appreciate you being on it with me. See you at Italy.